Hello and welcome back to Nobel series. Today, we are embarking on an extraordinary journey into the life of Nelson Mandela, a man whose extraordinary courage, unyielding resilience, and unwavering commitment to justice turned the tides of history in South Africa and captured the imagination of the world. Prepare to enter a saga filled with suspense, unexpected twists, and heart-wrenching moments, as we trace Mandela's remarkable path from a humble beginning to becoming a global symbol of hope and freedom. Born in the small village of Mvizo in the Eastern Cape, Mandela's early years were steeped in the ancient traditions and deep-rooted values of the Xhosa people. Even as a child, he possessed a rare sense of curiosity and an innate desire to understand the world around him. The whispers of ancestral legends and the subtle lessons of communal life imbued him with a profound respect for human dignity. Yet, as the winds of colonialism swept across his homeland, the seeds of injustice were sown in the fertile soil of his young mind. The quiet suffering of his community under the weight of racial segregation and inequality set the stage for a destiny that was as inevitable as it was heroic. As Mandela grew older, his once innocent observations evolved into a burning need for change. In the 1940s, as the apartheid system began to tighten its grip on South Africa, Mandela's eyes were open to the harsh realities of a society divided by color and cruelty. It was during this period that he joined the African National Congress, ANC, stepping into a dangerous arena where dissent was met with severe punishment. The early days of his political activism were fraught with tension. Each secret meeting and coded conversation carried the constant risk of betrayal, arrest, or even death. Yet, it was within this crucible of fear and uncertainty that Mandela's resolve hardened. With every act of resistance, he was writing the prologue of a narrative that would one day redefine freedom. The suspense of Mandela's struggle reached a dramatic peak in the early 1960s. In a series of events that seem almost scripted by fate, Mandela was arrested in 1962, marking the beginning of a long, dark chapter that would see him confined behind the cold, unyielding walls of prison. His arrest sent shockwaves throughout South Africa and reverberated around the globe. The news of his capture ignited a spark among oppressed communities and supporters of the anti-apartheid movement, but it also plunged his supporters into a state of agonizing uncertainty. What would become of this visionary leader? Would his dreams of a united, just nation ever come to fruition? For 27 agonizing years, Mandela's life was shrouded in the darkness of incarceration. Locked away on Robben Island and later in other remote prisons, he was separated from his loved ones and isolated from the world he had vowed to change. Yet, it was in this seemingly hopeless confinement that Mandela's spirit grew even stronger. The oppressive conditions did nothing to dampen his inner fire. Instead, they provided him with time to reflect, to strategize, and to forge an unbreakable resolve. His letters, written in the solitude of his cell, were imbued with the quiet strength of a man who refused to let the weight of injustice crush his indomitable will. In those long years of silence, his thoughts traveled far beyond the prison walls, inspiring a generation of activists and ordinary citizens to dream of a day when freedom would prevail. Meanwhile, outside the prison, the world held its breath. International campaigns for Mandela's release grew louder with each passing year, and the pressure on the South African government mounted relentlessly. The suspense was palpable. Every announcement, every diplomatic negotiation was watched with bated breath by millions yearning for a breakthrough. There were moments when hope seemed almost within reach, only to be dashed by further setbacks. The story of Mandela became a symbol of the endless struggle against oppression, a narrative punctuated by moments of despair interlaced with sparks of hope. Every twist in this saga made it clear that his journey was far from over. Then, in a moment that felt almost surreal, the unthinkable happened. In 1990, Nelson Mandela was released from prison. His freedom was celebrated by millions, yet also ushered in a period of intense uncertainty and suspense. As Mandela stepped out into the blinding light of a new era, the country braced itself for the monumental task of healing deep, decades-old wounds. The air was thick with anticipation. Could a nation so ravaged by hate and division ever truly be mended? Mandela's release was not simply the liberation of one man. It was the opening chapter of a broader struggle for reconciliation and unity, a struggle that would demand every ounce of courage he had nurtured in those long years of confinement. Mandela's transition from prisoner to statesman was a journey fraught with both triumph and turmoil. In the wake of his release, he found himself thrust into the turbulent arena of national politics. The transition was anything but smooth. Old resentments and new challenges surfaced at every turn. Mandela's ability to navigate this complex landscape was nothing short of extraordinary. With a blend of empathy, strategic acumen, and an unyielding belief in the power of forgiveness, he began the arduous process of dismantling the machinery of apartheid. His rise to power culminated in the historic elections of 1994, when he became South Africa's first black president, a moment that signified not just a political victory, but the triumph of the human spirit over unimaginable adversity. During his presidency, Mandela's leadership was tested by the myriad challenges of unifying a deeply divided nation. Every policy decision, every public address was met with a mixture of hope, skepticism, and fierce resistance from those entrenched in the old ways of segregation. Yet, in the face of these challenges, Mandela remained steadfast. His approach was characterized by a rare blend of humility and authority, a quiet insistence that reconciliation, not retribution, was the only path forward. In one of his many stirring speeches, he spoke of the necessity to forgive, to understand, and to embrace the possibility of a future where every individual, regardless of race or background, could live in dignity. His words resonated deeply, filling the hearts of those who had long been embittered by decades of oppression with a renewed sense of purpose and possibility. As the years passed, the suspense of South Africa's transformation gradually gave way to a cautious optimism. Mandela's efforts to foster a culture of forgiveness and unity began to bear fruit, and the country slowly started to heal. Yet, the road to reconciliation was never straightforward. Every step forward was shadowed by the memories of a brutal past, and the challenge of reconciling a nation with such deep-seated scars was an ongoing battle. In this struggle, Mandela's resolve was both tested and strengthened. His presidency, marked by both poignant victories and heartbreaking setbacks, became a living testament to the power of hope and the enduring human capacity for renewal. Beyond the political arena, the personal side of Mandela's life added layers of suspense and emotional depth to his story. His long separation from his family, the personal sacrifices he made, and the constant threat of danger all underscored the immense cost of his crusade for justice. Yet, even in the midst of personal loss and hardship, Mandela's unwavering belief in the possibility of a better future never faltered. His personal journey was a microcosm of the larger struggle for freedom, a journey marked by moments of deep sorrow intermingled with bursts of fierce determination and unexpected joy. Today, as we reflect on the life of Nelson Mandela, his story continues to resonate with an intensity that defies the passage of time. His journey from a small village in the Eastern Cape to the halls of power in a modern democratic nation is one of the most compelling narratives ever told. A tale of resilience, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Mandela's life is a living saga, filled with suspenseful twists and turns that remind us that the fight for freedom is never a linear path. It is a journey of highs and lows, of moments when the future hangs in the balance, and every decision can alter the course of history. In the legacy of Nelson Mandela, we find a powerful reminder that even in the darkest moments, hope can emerge and change is possible. His story challenges us to confront the harsh realities of injustice and to believe in the transformative power of forgiveness and unity. The suspense of his struggle, the tension of every pivotal moment, and the ultimate triumph of his indomitable spirit serve as a beacon for all those who dare to dream of a better world. Mandela's life is a testament to the fact that the human spirit, when fueled by conviction and guided by compassion, can overcome even the most insurmountable obstacles. As we bring this documentary to a close, let us carry forward the enduring message of Nelson Mandela, a message that speaks to the heart of what it means to be human. His legacy is not just a historical record, but a call to action for every one of us. It challenges us to stand up against injustice, to embrace the possibility of reconciliation, and to work tirelessly towards building a world where every individual is valued and free. The suspense and drama of his life are reminders that the struggle for justice is ongoing, and that each of us has a role to play in the creation of a more equitable future. Thank you for joining us on this riveting exploration of Nelson Mandela's extraordinary life. May his journey continue to inspire you. May his sacrifices remind you of the power of hope, and may his legacy empower you to contribute to a world defined not by division, but by unity and shared purpose. Stay tuned to Nobel series for more compelling stories of resilience, transformation, and the human spirit's endless capacity to overcome adversity.